sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Flacco. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jeff Hireman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Packer offense led by number 12, Aaron Rodgers. And the Pack in an unfamiliar position this year. They have not made the playoffs for 2 years running. 6-9-1 a year ago, and now with a new head coach in Matt LaFleur, no guarantee certainly that they'll play meaningful football in January this year. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 27th, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 10 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 44, Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 10 more there and another 1st down.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game. His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try again with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
Now left side on the swing pass. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Let's go, baby.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's a second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From midfield now on second down. Flacco. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now Flacco. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflect. And it's a fumble, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Rodgers, and he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
And they got the safe completion on 3rd. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's got Adams on the hookup. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Rodgers now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go back to the ground with Jones. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing now is Rodgers. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Go, go. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Extra point try now for Crosby.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
And his kick is right through. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. What's the run? They're running it.
From just shy of midfield, Flacco completes it to Fant on the right side. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. From the gun, Flacco, open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field. The Super Bowl 52 champs hosting a team that's never won a Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. Deshaun Jackson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. 27-14, the final tally. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Antonio Brown, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not he came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Mike 47, I got you. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. That is caught inside the 5. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1. But was
under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad. But a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down. To pass, Flacco. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Check 13. Check 13.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the screen. Pass.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. On third down, here's Lindsey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. And now the Packers get set to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing is Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sua Cravens in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Running right, Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Undercut. Look again.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's going to go, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jay Sternberger with his first career NFL touchdown, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now Crosby for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework. Didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
After the sack on first down, Flacco, left side here to Sanders. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
They should have put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Now Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down and then some. 36 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Looking to throw again on second down. Flacco. And the ball is knocked out. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Shift.
Rodgers, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And he rifles one incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Hey, take 26. Hey, Delta.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. On the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Carson Wentz, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. A pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Third and just 1, it's Flacco, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They're going to look to throw on fourth with Flacco. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Rodgers looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a third down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Packers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. There's Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions for him last year until a back injury knocked him out in Week 14. On first down, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Look at you.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, foxtrot. Don't let him breathe, defense. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he'll be out right at the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 10 catches, 112 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
Now Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And again, it's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
He's crossing. He's checking crack.
On first down, Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Coming to you, coming to you.
On second down now, it's Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want.
He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. On play action, it's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete.
Receiver downfield, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
Here we go. 180. Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Rodgers now on 1st down. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game.
50.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Five.
Now Rodgers to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Ball. Hey, Zoo.
On third down, Rodgers flushed to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Wentz now on first down. Completes it to Aguilar. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Zadarius Smith. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Rodgers again now. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. In the early window, lots of good matchups to choose.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll go again to Jones. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And able to find Graham, complete. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, he did. he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball.
After review of the play, the run on the field is reversed.
30, 26. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Mike 51.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now Jones. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This is Howard on 2nd down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive line.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Eagles get a score closer. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jordan Howard. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A 10-play drive that time. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. This is taken at his 4. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, which to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Hey, Delta.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And this one's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run it with Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, that take... partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 16 yards, a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Wentz going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was what's commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
There it is, partner. You see it. Four fingers. What does that mean?
Fingers. That signifies the fourth quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the fourth quarter. What we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up. Had that lead, they were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. From the 31, Rodgers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Now Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He's back to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his second touchdown on the season. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now Winston, the Eagles, down 17-14, less than 90 seconds to go. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Wins now to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to...
He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there in overtime. 49 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover, put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
51, Mike. Mike 51. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And again, it's Rodgers. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Green Bay, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles.